Hi, I'm Tom Hess, and I'm glad that you've come here to check out this video about how to get into the music industry. The first thing that I want you to realize is that when you are looking for resources or advice from other people, or maybe reading articles or books about how the music industry works, you have to fundamentally understand that how the music industry worked 10 years ago or 20 or 30 years ago is not the way it works today. Now you might be thinking, well, okay, Tom, I know that because we have this cool thing called the internet, and now we have digital download, so it's not the same as it was in the 1980s or 90s when record labels were releasing CDs all the time. So those are the reasons why it's different. No, those are not the reasons why it's different. Although it's true that the internet has changed the industry, as well as piracy has changed the industry, as well as digital downloads. Those things all have influenced the industry directly, but that is not why it's different. Okay, I'm not going to go into all of the reasons why it's different right now in this video. If you'd like to know more about that, I've got a whole bunch of articles about the music industry, about becoming a professional musician at my website. You can read all those if you want to. The point of this video is because you wanted to know how to get into the music industry. All right, the first thing that you really need to understand is not how to get in the industry, but how to make yourself valuable to the industry. Okay? So the first thing that you would have to do once you make that realization is understand that the music industry, whether we're talking about record companies or management companies or publishing companies, whatever it is, these people invest money into artists. That's all it is. These are investors. They're going to invest money, they're going to invest time, they're going to invest their reputation and other types of resources into you if you want to get into the music industry. Now, just like any other type of investment, when the investor, the one with the cash and the connections and everything else, when the investor evaluates whether a particular investment, that means you're the investment to them, when they evaluate if the investment is going to be a worthwhile investment to them, they're going to look at two and only two areas. And that's it. And those two areas are this: how much value do you offer to them in all kinds of various ways, and musical skills is one of those areas, but it's only one. And the second big area is how much risk do you potentially pose to them. This is no different than investing money into the stock market or investing into a new business or any other type of investment, investing into a new relationship with another person. It all comes down to what is your level of value and what is your level of risk to the investor. Okay? So, the very first thing that you need to do, now understanding all of this, is you need to get very clear in your own mind so that you can communicate it to your potential investors, i.e. the music industry. You need to get really clear of what your specific value points are and what your specific risk points are so that you can then begin to build your value even more. Now, you can't build your value if you spend all of your time in your garage or out playing gigs and working on your musical skills, because remember, musical skills is important, but it's only one of the attributes of value that investors want to know or want you to have. You need to develop the other attributes at the same time. You can't overlook this, otherwise no one is going to want to invest in you. It's just not going to happen. The other thing is you need to identify specifically what are the risks that you pose to your potential investors, again, that means music industry, so that you can begin to either reduce those risks or eliminate them. Those are the two areas that you need to focus on if you want to start, build, sustain, and grow a very successful and lucrative career in the music industry. Okay? So everything that you do should be in either one of those two areas. Build value reduce risk. Okay? Now I said that you need to get clarity on each of those areas so that you know specifically what to focus on. Where are you going to get that clarity? At my website. That's where you're going to get it. Come to my website at the link below, and you're going to take some self-assessments. This is all free, by the way. Take these free assessments, and you're going to discover really quickly, by taking these assessments, what your strengths, weaknesses are. In what ways you pose value, and in what ways you pose risk. And then I'm going to give you, via email, some very specific advice, some very specific useful tools and resources that you can then actually use and implement to begin to build and sustain a real career in this industry. I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got these assessments, I've got some free video footage for you, video lessons, and I've got some other articles and things that are directly related to this exact specific topic. Come to my website. These resources are free. You will be glad that you did. This is the place that you need to start.